evening, everybody, and welcome back to Vidane TV. Paul Strickland Jr. here, Showtime. Strickland Jr. here, pulling double duty, pushing the buttons, moving the cameras around, and doing a little bit of commentary here this evening. But I'm not doing it alone. DJ Beverly brought out one of the old dogs in sim racing, been around since, well, the mid-90s from our earlier discussion here. DJ, how are we feeling tonight, brother?
Let's get it on, man. I see some good racing here this week. See some more tonight.
Pretty exciting to be here. The brand new iRacing SuperSpeedway just added to the iRacing service here last week, maybe the week before, but an old track. You may have seen it in an old papyrus game, the NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Used to be called a little bit something different, but we're going to call it iRacing SuperSpeedway because, well, contract and obligations and all that good stuff. So excited to be here. SIM500, the Vidane Racing Super Speedway is here for the Tommy Boy Towing 150. Great to have Tommy Boy Towing out of Ohio jumping on here, helping us out with a little bit of sponsorship, helping us pay the bills and all that stuff. But just had qualifying, taking the top 27 times, quick times here, and you can see the drivers lining up on the front stretch here, DJ, for the very first heat race, 8-lap heat race, no cautions, taking the top 8 to the feature.
Yeah, this ought to be good. Let's see who's all in this thing.
Taking a look up front, looks like the number 5 car. That's going to be Matthew Baker. He's going to start on the pole here. Chris Gaboo on the outside of the number 6. Starting in row number 2, the 68 machine, Ralph Vandervorst and Jason Barham in the 4th position. Jimmy Coleman, Bobby Wetzel going to start 5th and 6th. Tyler Hallahan starting 7th. Aaron Smith starting 8th. Anthony Bellows starting 9th. And rounding out the field, Matt Egan, that 02 car, going to start dead last in that Me machine.
So it's going to be 10 laps. Is that correct?
8 laps here for the heat races. We shortened them up a little bit because we got to racing at about 1:30, 1 o'clock in the morning last weekend. So wanted to shorten it up here. It's a 3-mile super speedway, so a little bit bigger of a track here. The lap times, well, they're you and I were talking before we came on air. The lap times are pretty insane here at the iRacing Super Speedway, but 8 laps here in the heat race number 1. We're running 2 heat races, taking 16 from those, adding them up to the 27 top qualifiers, and that'll give us a 43-car field here in the SIM500 Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series.
Good deal. Oh, Chris Gaboo's going to be hard to beat on this one.
Lights are off in the lights are off in the iRacing Mustang pace car, looking to take that left-hand turn. We're going to get racing here in the iRacing Super Speedway. There he goes. That's a hard left turn for that pace car. Waiting for that green flag to come out between the 5 and the 6 car up front. And there you see that huge Super Speedway. Bringing them down nice and slow. And there it is. Green flag in the air. We are racing here for the Tommy Boy Towing 150 heat race number 1. Side by side all the way through so far. You can see the kick-ass beef jerky moving up to the 2nd position there in the outside lane, but it's still all the 5 car. Matthew Baker doing a great job holding off the number 68 of Ralph Vandervorst, trying to hold on, but you can already see we're looking at 3 different lines at this point. See that bright orange car, the number 33, Tyler Hallahan. That's the number I believe his grandfather used to run back in the day. Oh, a couple of cars on the apron. Looks like everybody collects it, still pointing in the right direction. We stay green.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for all that bacon, we'd had a big wreck right there. Well, like the 02 was 3 wide, man. He was making it exciting. He's coming to the front.
Making his way through the other cars. Looks like it's crazy with this iRacing Super Speedway. You think everybody's going to line up single file, but not quite. And there you can see the number 68. He started dead last on the field. Already moved his way up to 2nd.
Yeah, look at the 02 now, making it 3 wide on the bottom.
3 wide for the lead, and the beautiful number 6 car. It's kind of a chrome blue and white HendricksCars.com sponsored ride. Trying to peek down low underneath the 5 car to get that 2nd position. He gets it no problem. Move Chris Gaboo up to the 2nd position. Matt Egan in that 02, the Me Ride, sponsored up front. leading lap number 2. A lot of good-looking race cars in this field. There you can see the 9 car of Bobby Wetzel. A lot of chrome on that ride as well. Adds extra horsepower, so I've heard here. The SIM500 sponsored ride there. And the 83 good-looking paint scheme there for Jason Barham as well. Kind of a almost like a Bass Pro's style scheme, but with the kick-ass beef jerky sponsorship on the hood. So pretty cool to see that little bit of a mashup. It's 3 wide right there for the 5th position. Trying to see who's going to move their way in. We've got 10 cars in this heat race here, DJ, taking the top 8. So 2 of these drivers are going to be going home.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. There's still, I almost want to put my money on the guy running dead last. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those things, and speaking of last, the opposite of that is first. We're actually being joined up here in the broadcast booth by the current points leader. Well, he's tied for the points, and, well, he's been second in points the last 2 seasons we did this Super Speedway deal. Rowdy Wesley Hogue, how's it going, my man?
Doing good, man. How's it going up here, Paul? Looks like we got some action here. 3 and 4 all over the place in this first heat.
Absolutely, and feel free to stick around, call a little bit of racing action here. It looks like you've qualified your way in already, correct?
I think, man, this track is definitely a lot more tricky than a Talladega or a Daytona or anything else that we've had, man. The way this track drives is not the same. When you go down into 2 and you go out, when you go down into 1 and 3, there's a big dip, and if you're not ready for it, they'll throw your car for a ride.
Absolutely. Taking a look right now, the number 6 and the number 02, Chris Caboo and Matt Egan doing a great job separating themselves from the field. They definitely seem to have figured out the drafting here. Have you done, I know you're part of the OG Vidane racing team with Jonathan Goke, Jared Bolliard, Kyle Young. Have you guys done any practice here, any drafting practice at the iRacing Speedway?
One thing you're going to have to watch for tonight as a driver and as a fan, watch for these cars getting overheating and getting hot. You're able to stay hooked up for a while up underneath them, as you can see here that our leaders are doing. But only for so long before you got to duck out and let it cool down. But I got a feeling if you're able to do it long enough and do it well enough, you can get a big enough gap, like you're seeing here with the 6 and the 02, that you can let it breathe and keep a big enough gap behind you if they don't get in line preferably.
For sure. So it's still the 6 and the 02 up front, but Matthew Baker trying to get a little bit of help from the 9 car behind him. Bobby Wetzel pushing each other just a little bit, getting some help as well from the number 68. Who's just kind of riding at this point. He doesn't want to get up. He doesn't want to push the back bumper of the number 9 car, but he wants to definitely be able to make the draft happen. There you see the 06, the 02 and the 6 dip down low and really able to pick up the draft. This is absolutely going to be a quick lap for the 5 and the 9 as they were able to close that gap in a big way. We'll pull up the telemetry. You can already see right near 250 miles an hour heading into turn number 1. And looking as they go through the turn here in the draft, it doesn't even look like they dip down below 230 here, Wes.
Paul, I've had women change their mind about me slower than this, and that typically happens quickly. Cars are rock and roll, and at 250, you really don't know it until you look down at your tack. If you got the telemetry up on your HUD, you really don't know it until you look down at it. But man, things happen really quickly. As here we see the battle for the lead heating up as the 02 goes up high. That 02 of Egan, he looks up high in the 6 of Gabo as they're side by side, and we got us a 4-car battle here going into 1.
3 laps to go in this very first heat race, and man, oh man, that gap that we saw with the 06 or the 02 and the 6 has disappeared, and now they're battling for the lead, trying to hold on to it. The 6 car doing a great job out front, trying to block both lines as they advance. That's Chris Cabot, but the 5 car still in this fight. He's right in the back bumper of the 6. Matt Egan, Tyler Hallahan, and Bobby Wetzel currently the top 5.
You know, this is big picture racing here, Paul. We just watched the 10 go from 10th all the way out to possibly not making the show. Things can change really, really quickly. The driver there, Aaron Smith II, was sitting 4th last time across the line. This time around, he's all the way back to 10th, so currently he is not in.
I mentioned that earlier on, popsicle sticks in the air. We're only taking 8 drivers out of the 10-car field here, so 2 of these guys are going to have to sit home or sit in the trailer and watch the race here on Vidane TV, the Tommy Boy Trucking 150. Got to give them another shout-out. Be sure to check them out on Facebook out of Ohio. Get yourself stuck in a ditch or maybe smash your car into the iRacing SuperSpeedway wall here. Give Tommy Boy Towing a shout and be able to hook you up and, well, literally be able to hook you up and tow you away.
Oh, it's getting interesting here. Coming to the white flag, got a 4. We got one stuck in the middle, and that is the it looks like that is the 33 of Tyler Callahan. He's trying to get out of this Tyler and Callahan ride. And at number 33, as we take the white flag, that 70 has worked his way back into a transfer position, but barely. But they're at the line through 1 and 2. Every single car in this race right now has an opportunity to come home and move on to the feature.
Not only do they have an opportunity to move on to the feature, but they still have an opportunity to win as things happen in a flash in super speedway racing. Oh, just like that, the 5 car gets into the O2, and those are going to be the 2 drivers that don't make this race. As long as the 8 drivers in front can hold their line and make it to the start-finish line, those top 8 are going to transfer on to the big show tonight. Matt Egan in the 5 car of Matthew Baker, they're going to be going home.
He showed so much dominance in this heat race. However, he will not prevail. Your winner coming across the line was Chris Cabot in the number 6. Second place will be Tyler Callahan. Third was I believe the 9 actually finished third of Wetzel, and then fourth being Vanderburst. So those 4 will move on, as well as Jimmy Coleman will move on, Aaron Smith will move on, Anthony Bello will move on. Wow, you see how quickly things can change here at iRacing Motor Speedway, as well as Jason Barham will move on as well.
Crazy finish to a crazy race here, and that's just a taste of it. We got 50 laps here in the feature at this 3-mile super speedway. Absolutely massive track this thing is. See if we can get maybe a blimp view just to kind of give you an idea how big this racetrack is. And of course the production trailer doesn't want to work with me here, but that's how things go here in at Vidane TV. We just kind of do it live, and sometimes things don't work, and they still don't want to work.
Man, I caught it right. Aaron Smith was sitting in the best seat in the house.
Yeah, moved his way onto the race, and we're in here for heat race number 2. And there you can see, looking on from the iRacing blimp, Richard Beasley, that nice clean tide ride, going to be starting on the pole. Dude Conrad in the number 15 car. That's a cool name, Dude Conrad. He's going to be starting second. Inside of row number 2, couple of SIM500 veterans, Brian Macklin in the 30, John Wilco in the 62. And rounding out the rest of the field, we got Donald Runkle Jr. in the 00, Randy Yoakum in the 8, Thomas O'Leary in the 08, our very own Kyle Young in the 94, Steve Herring and Jamie Dobbs rounding out the top 10. So same rules apply here. 10 drivers taking the top 8. 2 drivers go home, and everybody else makes it to the big show.
Kyle Young's coming into this race with very, very little practice, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can work his way up. We saw last week he missed the start of the heat, and he ended up transferring after some big mishaps in that race at Talladega Superspeedway. So we've just seen it last race, and we see it every single week. It is not over until you cross the checkered flag here in these heat races.
Yeah, and this heat race right here is stout, man. That's a lot of good drivers.
On out, we got the 8 of Randy Yoakum spinning out here. Interesting. He's still spinning out, guys.
I'm sure he'll grab a gear and get that thing pointed in the right direction soon enough here.
Oh.
But
yeah, seeing certain names like Duke Conrad, he's actually a pretty good driver. I've been working with him in practice. Richard Beasley as well in that Tide ride. That gentleman there will wheel a race car too. So some names in here that you typically don't see in these races, in these Conci races. But nonetheless, man, this wasn't an easy track to qualify at either, to be honest with you. So it's definitely something different.
For sure. We got them all lined up 2 by 2. A couple of drivers kind of weaving in and out just a little bit. Get some heat into those tires. Get rid of all the sticky stuff, all the dirt, all the BS that kind of builds up throughout practice. And when you're sitting there on pit road and kind of building up the air pressures just a little bit, building up the temperatures from sitting there on pit road during that first heat race. Second heat race here. Again, 8 laps, taking the top 8 drivers. 2 drivers going home to watch the race on Vidane TV. And if you've actually struggled here trying to find us on the YouTube or the Facebook, you can now type in vidane.net/live in your internet browser, and that'll pull up a step-by-step process on how to check us out and how to watch us, well, pretty much nightly here. We got a lot of stuff going on here for the early 2021 season, and man, oh man, we're about to kick off heat race number 2. Green flag in the air. Beasley gets a great jump. He's got the help from the number 30 machine of Brian Macklin. Those aren't rookie stripes on the back of that car. That just shows that he's got a C license in the iRacing service. Brian Macklin, no rookie here. You can see right in the back bumper of Richard Beasley pushing him down into turn number 1.
The 62 of John Wilco did not get a good start there. He checked up the 94 of Kyle Young and Randy Yoakum in the 8 on that outside. They're able to work their way around that 62 machine. Now following up after that is the Jamie Dobbs ride in that 91. So not a good start for Wilco as he drops to the back. But back up front here, you got the 2-car tango going of Beasley and Macklin.
Oh,
and
15.
Action.
Yeah, dude, Conrad hitting a big-time apron there, and he gets brings a Taco Town truck with him, the 00 of Don Runkle. Kind of follows him up the racetrack, and you can see the 15 dropping like a rock. The 00 finds himself a spot in front of that yellow machine there in the P3 position.
Now, DJ, you can see here how those two have already broken away. You can see that now the 15's falling back here. If you put your feet in their shoes, let's say if you're the 94 Kyle Young sitting 8th, you happy there, or are you going to try to move your way up through the pack?
Oh no, I'm trying to find somebody to draft with. Let's go catch them. I mean, you got Richard Beasley and Brian Macklin, which are 2 great online racers. But they're gonna close up fast. I mean, I don't know. You got Randy Yoakum. It's gonna be good. I'll be wanting to be up there winning it. That's the way I am.
Yeah, and that's the mindset of a driver. I agree with you. As now we see Yoakum falling to the wayside now to this run on the bottom side as he now settles down into the 7th and possibly 8th position here. So he so far is the last driver to move on if it were to end this lap, but it does not. As we are on the backstretch of lap number 3, we see on the outside further up front is the buckshot Don Runkle Jr. trying to work his way on the outside, trying to get a lane going there, Paul. And I'll tell you what, that's going to be a big big challenge here tonight to get that outside lane, get some momentum up there. That inside has such a momentum advantage.
Absolutely. You can see the 08 car, Thomas O'Leary the 4th in that Tommy Boy towing machine. Good looking paint scheme there on the number 08. Got to give them another shout out for helping sponsor in this evening's events, this evening's race for the Tommy Boy Towing 150. So check them out on Facebook. We got them linked up on the Vidane TV page. And give those guys a little bit of love over there on the Facebook. But don't look now. Speaking of a little bit of love, we're going to give some to our very own Kyle Young. Started towards the back of the pack, already moved himself up to 4th place. Getting ready to cross the on the backstretch right now. Next time by, we're going to be at halfway. Kyle's very strong in these super speedways, and he's missed the first handful of races, almost missed the show last week, and unfortunately got wrecked out early on, I do believe. But West Kyle's coming. He's moved his way up to 4th, and he's 3rd in line. So we'll see what Kyle can do here.
He's a smart and conservative driver there, Paul. He'll get where he needs to be in this heat. He knows it doesn't pay anything. He knows what it takes to get to the feature, and I wouldn't expect him to really push the envelope here in this 10-lap heat race, but he's going to do what it takes to make sure he gets himself in a transfer spot. So far, he's done that.
Still the same 2 guys up front, Brian Macklin and Richard Beasley. They've swapped a little bit. Macklin took the lead. Richard Beasley right behind on the 08, and Kyle Young in the 94 there as well. Still kind of pretty much 2 by 2. Everybody just biding their time, seeing what everybody else's reaction time is looking like. And there you can see the 15 car, Duke Conrad, the very last car in the field. A little bit of 3-wide action, but it pretty much sorts itself out. It's cool to see all the drivers kind of fan out coming out of turn number 4. And it's not even really a drafting thing. It may very well be a handling thing as these drivers are going so fast coming out of the corner.
Ooh, in the wall is John Wilco there, DJ. You catch that as well?
Yeah. Now, do these cars jump around a lot?
On exit, you're definitely noticing it if you're not there to catch it. And on entry, if you dive it in too hard and you're not ready for it, it will send you up. And you saw Wilco do so. He's the driver that's the first eliminator right now. And up goes the track. There goes the 98. But Waring's showing it as the same problem there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So these cars in this track is almost like running like the 1987 mod, like at Daytona.
That's what we have really compared it to. It's a lot like those Aero 88 or Aero 87 cars where they're almost, they're wide open. You're doing 250 miles an hour, almost like you don't have a plate. They're a little bit harder to handle, but you do have the benefit of the draft, which you really don't have as much in those cars.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. Looks like Thomas O'Leary is looking really good. He is a really good guy, though. I had to say, he is since I met Thomas, it's like super good guy on the in real life racing too. So his real life racing is really good.
Yeah, they're nose to tail up there right now. DJ Thomas O'Leary in the midst of that. He's sitting third with Kyle Young fourth. You got Duke Conrad on the outside in that 15 going for it, as well as the 8. But right now, the last position to get in is that 91 of Dobbs. But now here comes the 62. He has recovered from that little incident a couple laps ago, and he takes a 3 wide on the back, going down into 3. He wants to move on to the feature.
Yeah, he's pushing the issue. Let's see what's going to happen. Looks like there's not much grip when you enter high. It looks like it just shoves to the wall.
As a driver, sometimes you want to run where they're not, just to make up some space, and it's kind of it's very you look at it, it looks like it's favorable going on the entry of the corners, but as soon as you get to that entry, you notice you may have made a mistake, and you've seen the 62 do that. But now he's able to get around the 15 possibly here, and that could be for a chance to move on, as Dude Conrad now falls out of the top 8, as next time around will be the white flag call.
Yeah, the 15 car, Dude Conrad, trying to make it happen by himself on the outside line there, but it's really tough to do that at super speedways, especially one as big here as the iRacing Super Speedway. So you're going to see he's going to try and maybe hook up in the back bumper to the 98 of Steve Herring to see if maybe they can push up towards the front. And you can see that's just everybody fanning out to a different line coming off of turn number 4. Up front, it's still Brian Macklin, Richard Beasley, O'Leary in the 08, Kyle Young in the 4, white flag, white rag for the second heat race again. Taking the top 8, 2 of these drivers are going home.
Look at that 15 of Conrad. He wants to move on as he just muscles his way into a transfer position. Just all on his own.
Awesome.
He wants that spot. As you see him trying to wrestle it through to the 91, he wants to secure that spot. But don't look down. Here comes that 62. 62 looking high, trying to get a little bit of momentum. The double O comes up the track. The 15 now has to choose. Does he go with him or does he go low? He decides to go low. He puts the double 0 in the middle. And oh no, the 15 loses any draft help. That drops him out. Race over. Man, oh man, your winner coming across the line is the Brian Macklin machine.
Crazy finish there, man. Awesome. We were about 19 wide coming to the start finish line there. Man, that was intense. We got our starting field here, and we're gonna be seeing these drivers get a couple minutes of warm up here. So, gonna be cool to see what everybody's gonna do throughout the race here. Wes, you've already qualified yourself in. You got a couple minutes of practice. We're gonna let you get back in the race car, and good luck, man. Hopefully, we'll talk to you after the race.
Good luck, Wes.
Much appreciated, guys, and keep on doing what you're doing. Put on a hell of a show, and I'll tell you what, if we have a green flag stops, I'm going to put this out there. If we have green flag stops, keep your eye.
Keep your eye where?
Keep your eye on pit road entry and exit at all times, as I'm currently getting ready to exit pit road. It is very slick, so keep your eyes open for that.
Absolutely.
Put me on down there, Paul.
Hey, you know, that makes sense, Paul, because I don't know if tires are a big thing at this track like they are at Talladega and Daytona. So when they pit and you only take right sides because it's faster, or left sides because, left side because it's faster, right sides because you got more time, you only take 2 at a time, it really is slick.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. Even on new tires, these cars are pretty slick at this track. And you're running so fast in the corners. It's really hard to kind of grip down on the racetrack. So, drivers doing, you're pretty much going to be able to separate the men from the boys at this point, and pretty much see who's been practicing and who hasn't. Because a lot of times with the super speedway racing, you can kind of jump in and it's like riding a bike. You know, everything you knew in the past is still pretty much active. But this racetrack is just so big, 3 miles here for the iRacing Super Speedway, and man, oh man, it's really tough to handle. It's narrow in the turns, big wide backstretch and front stretch, and just seeing these drivers work different lines. And it's still fairly new to the iRacing service, only been around for a week or two, so not really enough time for any of these drivers to make it into their wheelhouse.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting over there looking at my rig right now going, man, I should be racing.
Yeah, same here, but I'm just no good at it. So That's why I'm up here in the booth. But we're going to take just a quick minute. We got a few minutes left in this warm-up session. Going to take a few minutes to pay the bills here. Grab yourself an ice-cold, tasty beverage, and we'll be right back here on Vidane TV.
Hey, I'm CTWE Wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends at Rent-A-Racecar, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Back again here at Vidane TV, racing here at iRacing SuperSpeedway and the iRacing service, the SIM500 Vidane Racing SuperSpeedway Series here for the Tommy Boy Towing 150. Be sure to check out Tommy Boy Towing on Facebook. We got them linked up on the Vidane TV page, and we want to thank them again for signing on here and sponsoring this race, helping us pay some of the bills here at Vidane TV. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. here, owner and producer here at Vidane Racing, Vidane TV, and up here with DJ Beverly, one of the old dogs from Sim Racing. Been around for a long time, gone through the all the different simulations and games that we played here, and we all grew to love. But went through a couple of heat races here, DJ, and man, it's getting excited. Everybody's there's a great shot of the front stretch. Everybody parked, backed up to the pit road wall, getting ready to do some racing.
Oh yeah, man, the heat races were good. I think the feature's gonna be even better.
For sure. We're going to take a quick look at the starting lineup, and there you see it up front. A couple of drivers we didn't see in those heat races because we qualified in on time. You're going to see the 87 machine, Raymond Mittenauer, the second on the inside on the pole. Kevin Fries, in the number 25, is going to be starting second. Rich Jet, easy enough for me to say, Rich Jet on the inside of row number 2. Daniel Falkingham starting in that fourth position, that number 39, Ryan, check that. Easy enough for me to say as well. And you can see these drivers kind of pulling off one by one to get lined up, get their spot. There you see the 39 of Daniel Falkingham. Gabe Butler, the winner of the very first race here in the SIM500 Vidane Racing SuperSpeedway Series. He's going to start 5th. Jose Gonzalez, the number 26 ride, sponsored by Goya. He's going to be starting 6th. Sim500 founder and owner Joey Gattina, he's going to start 7th in the 14 ride, sponsored by Sim500 itself and Kick-Ass Beef Jerky. Always good to see those guys on board a race car. I'd rather have a bag of beef jerky here, but that's no biggie. Jim Brooks starting 8th. Chad Cole's going to be starting 9th in that 17 ride, and one of the drivers from the NEPS League, Kyle Casagrande, comes over. He's going to be starting 10th and 7th in the 7th car. The champ is here, Jarrett Bolliard in the number 79 car, the last season's Vidane Racing Super Speedway defending champion is going to be starting the 79 car in the 11th spot with Jason Netherly on his outside. Behind them, a couple of quick race cars, number 40 of Bruce Lee Weaver and the number 24 of Jonathan D. Goak. One of my favorite paint schemes there, Jeff Gordon throwback, that white and blue Pepsi kind of throwback winter scheme almost. And behind those guys, another couple of quick race cars, Chad Coleman, the 38, Jeff Rye in the number 3. Pace car is off, and we're getting ready to go green. 39 drivers have made the call here for the race, bringing them down to the green flag here. DJ 87 down low, 25 up high. Falkingham with a push to the back of that Folgers car in the number 25 ride, motoring down, getting through these gears, getting up to speed. There you see Falkingham dumping down low to try and push the 87 up further into the front.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get good. The back's probably 15 on back is kind of lagging back. Draft's gonna pick up. It's gonna be very good.
You can see already these drivers almost up to speed halfway down the backstretch as we get into turn number 3. On board with the leader, the 87 of Rittenauer. 240 miles an hour that time by. Not quite up to speed just yet, but you can see just how many different lines these drivers are picking. They fan out on the backstretch coming out of turn number 4. You can already see Daniel Falkingham trying to gain that lead, give the lap right there to the 87 car, but Daniel Falkingham wants it. He wants that lead. He wants to get up towards the front.
Yeah, you don't know whether you want to be up front or you want to be in the back and ride. You don't know how to play these races out, because no matter where you're at, you know, you get collected in something. So where Falkingham is the best place to be.
Absolutely. You can see the 36 car getting a push, working together with the 39 car there, and you can see Gabe Butler, number 1, currently in that 3rd position. He's already won a race here, so he's, as long as he stays in the top 30 here, DJ, he is in for the championship 8, the championship round of 10, that is, and that's going to be the 8 race winners as well as the top 2 in points. But looks like he's going to try and change that up on us a little bit. He gets in the back bumper of Falkingham. Very, very fast car in that number 1. There you can see Kyle Casagrande with a huge run on the outside, that number 7 X-Side machine.
Oh, got the guy on the bottom. It's a big wreck.
Big wreck towards the back, middle of the pack, and it seems like there's quite a few drivers involved. Here we go. Smoke flying. There's a white car trying to get in through there. A little bit of arc brake action, unfortunately. But we'll pull up the old instant replay. Looking like a yard sale here on coming out of the corner. But backing up the old instant replay tapes here, this replay brought to you by the brand new Vidane TV shop. We got t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got coffee mugs, we got stickers. We got a lot of cool stuff at the Vidane TV merchandise booth. Check it out at the very brand new shortened link, vidane.net/shop. I know we had a lot of complaints about the super long link there, but we shortened it up for you because, well, we love you here at Vidane Racing, and we want you to entertain the masses with some Vidane TV merchandise. But we're going to take a look here. The 83 car, the 83 of Jason Barron, the kick-ass beef jerky ride, was involved a little bit. There you see the 94 getting a big shot, the 68 getting a shot as well. Looks like this may have started with the 70 of Aaron Smith. So we'll back this up one more time. And you can see it right there, right in front of the 70. The 60 machine, the 09, they're kind of racing against each other. It starts even before them, it looks like. The 46 machine gets a little bit squirrely, and there's a lot of drivers just trying to check up and find a line to avoid the wreck. So, tough break for a lot of drivers, a lot of damaged race cars here, DJ. But we're going to be back up towards the front, and it's going to be Daniel Falkingham leading us to the green.
Yeah, it looked like Jeff Ryan got ran into the back by the 30, and that kind of just killed the whole field from there back.
Really tough to see in the iRacing service, but we already talked about it a couple of times here. This racetrack is just so big. It's really tough to tell where the lines are and who's going where and all of that good stuff. But up front, it's going to be Daniel Falkingham, Gabe Butler, Rich Jett, Joey Gattina, Jonathan Goak in the top 5. Kyle Casagrande, Raymond Rittenauer, who's leading there for a short amount of time. He's going to be restarting 7th. Jason Nethery, Kevin Brown, and E.J. O'Rourke is going to round out the top 10. So it looks like the lights are still on the pace car. It gives us an opportunity to step away for just a second, pay a couple of bills. We'll be right back here for the Tommy Boy Towing 150.
Hey, I'm CTWE Wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends at Rent-A-Racecar, you can!
Visit www.rent-a-racecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
Working lap number 5 here, the Tommy Boy Towing 150 at the iRacing SuperSpeedway. The lights are still on in the pace car, and probably another lap or two under caution here. Great big wreck that we saw here. Paul Strickland Jr. and DJ Beverly up in the commentary booth here this evening for tonight's festivities. And crazy race so far, DJ. We've got a lot of different lines, a lot of different drivers trying a couple of different strategies. And couple of heat races. We saw the 8-lappers, no cautions, trying to race their way in, and we're taking again, the top 27 kind of qualified their way in on quick times. So a little bit of a mixed bag on trying to get into this race here, DJ.
Oh yeah, and some very good drivers just got taken out, so or got damaged anyway, and see what happens.
There you can see the massive field on the front stretch here. The iRacing SuperSpeedway still looks like we got about 38 drivers of the 43 that started this race are still running. 32 of those drivers still on the lead lap. And man, oh man, a lot of big names up front. A lot of big names kind of peppered on through this field as well. A couple of notables. Brian Macklin, who was up front for a lot of the first couple of laps here. He's currently in the 16th position with Chad Coleman right behind him, or right beside him, restarting. The champ, Jarrett Bolliard, currently 24th, and Kyle Casagrande from the Neps League, he's up front, up towards the front. Anyway, he's in the 6th position. Jonathan Goke's always been fast at the super speedways in the 5th spot as well. But up front still Daniel Falkingham and Gabe Butler, 1 and 2. They're going to be restarting from the front, and they're going to be the ones dictating where we go from here.
Oh yeah, and 35 from 43 is a lap down, so well, a little bit more than a lap down, but these, as long as the caution laps are, they probably can get the cars fixed and see, you know, should be okay.
Definitely one of the perks here with the cautions at the iRacing SuperSpeedway. You can see the pace speed is about 85 miles an hour, so it's basically as much time as it takes to go 3 miles with going 85 miles an hour. I have no idea how long that is, but that's how much time you can work on your car down there on pit road to try and get that thing repaired. So definitely a big advantage over some of the other tracks. But the iRacing Mustang pace car dips down on pit road, and we wait. There's a little bit of a wiggle. As you can see, the 39 Daniel Falkingham mashes that gas pedal, crosses the start-finish line, bringing us down to turn number 1. Great start for the number 39. He clears the 1 car of Gabe Butler, but it's a bee's nest behind him. 1 car clears. Here comes Rich Jett in 36, and SIM500's owner, Joey Gattina, trying to make his way up towards the front of the pack.
Yeah, Joey looks good tonight. Alabama must have won.
Yeah, we talked to him just before the race. He said he had no business being up here in the booth here tonight, so I guess that means he was going to go down and race that race car. But there you can see a great move there by Kyle Casagrande in the number 7 machine. Check that all the way on the outside. 3 wide for P2. Casagrande wants it. Gabe Butler has it. He's going to try and jump down in front of that 1 machine. It looks like nope, he's going to stay out front of the 99 car. So crazy run there from Kyle Casagrande in the number 7 car. 3 wide for the lead heading into the turn.
Yeah, you talking about Joey. He caught the apron just a touch. and he went from 3rd to 4th to probably 15th. That fast.
Still dropping back down to 17th position, stuck on the outside line. And man, that's tough. That's one of the things we talked about here, DJ. If you get that apron, it's really going to jack up the race car, how you drive it, and it's going to screw up the.
Jeff Ryan's at the wall.
Yep, Jeff Ryan, the 3 car, scraped the wall and not really able to recover too much. If he's lucky, he'll be able to tack onto the back of the pack. It looks like he may very well lose the draft. Doesn't look like too much damage on that car. You can see he's all the way down to 250 miles an hour, so maybe he's got a little bit more damage that he's showing, but still green here at this point. Look at this Hornet's nest up front. Gabe Butler's got it. Everybody else wants it.
Yeah, it's not sit back and ride here. These guys are going for it every lap.
There you can see a great onboard shot, 250 miles an hour heading into the corners. Absolutely astounding here. You can see Gabe Butler in the currently second. Yeah, it looks like he edges out in front. He's got a big time push there from the 24 of Jonathan Goke. There's a car down out of shape. He's going to speed down pit road. Not sure if he's going to be able to slow down to pit road speed. He may very well be a green flag stop. That's something Wes Hogue talked to us about, the current points leader. And man, these guys are just all over the place at this point.
Oh, good gracious. You see Joey try to put it 3 wide. Oh, my gracious. This is awesome. It's hard for me to even talk. I'm getting puckered up over here. I think I'm driving in this, and I'm not.
Oh, there's some contact up front. Looks like they were able to save a lot of smoke 4 wide. There's a... Holy moly. We saw the same thing happen there. Man, Macklin in a scary position there in the number 30 ride. He gets, thinks a little bit better of it. Comes down in front of Chad Coleman. Somebody he's worked very well here in this series and other series as well. But man, these drivers are all over the place and really tough to pick a line and stick with. As
oh, we got a caution. Well, I'm not gonna throw a caution. Somebody hit the wall and wrecking. Yeah.
There you see Gabe Butler jumping on the outside of that 1 car. He doesn't want to sit back and ride. He wants to hold on to that lead. He wants to lead as many laps as he can here. For the Tommy Boy Towing 150, you can see just edging out in front of the 39 of Daniel Flockingham, who's getting a push by the number 7 of Casa Grande. Jonathan Goke there in the 24 Pepsi ride right behind him.
Yeah, I think Joey jumped out of that and was like, man, that's just too crazy. Too crazy right now.
We talked about Wes Hope. He's actually tied with Bobby Wetzel for that points lead. We're taking a look right now. The number 9 car, that Chrome ride, currently running 13th, and it appears he's a handful of positions ahead of Wes Hogue. Trying to look through the point standings here. I'm not actually seeing him.
Oh man, Falkenham just got shucked back. So these guys are taking no prisoner up front.
There you can see it, 3x3, a couple of drivers. There's a lap car to throw into the mix. Sure, why not? We got everything else going on. 3 full wide almost. Holy moly. There you see Falkingham in the 39 Tornadoes ride, the Ryan Newton paint scheme there. It dips back just a little bit, but it looks like he's gathered it back up. Led Corey Casagrande almost trying to lead that lap. 3 wide for second. Goke down low. Macklin off. Casagrande in the center. Thinks better of it. Dips down below and... you know, you try and call what these guys are doing, and then they change it at the very last second. It's crazy. But here comes Flockingham, that number 39 machine, right on the back bumper of Casagrande, pushing him up towards the front. He's not going to lay back in the middle of the pack. He wants to be up front as well.
Oh yeah, he definitely wants to lead, which he leads a lot of laps anyway. So that's where he's accustomed to being, is leading laps.
A lot of powerhouses up front. There you can see Goke, Butler, Falkingham, Casagrande, Brown. A lot of quick drivers up front. 3 wide for second, 3 wide for third. Kind of sort of 3 wide, almost a triangle there for the third row there. Coming up on some more lap traffic. Now this may very well be a couple of drivers that have made some pit stops, but it also may very well be just drivers that have lost the draft. We're going so quick here at the iRacing Super Speedway. That's actually Kyle Young, who just went down a lap. Looked like some major damage on the front of that race. Oh, the 1 car's around.
Oh, wrecking the...
Big wreck up front. Gabe Butler involved. Jonathan Goke involved. Lost the hood on number 1 car. Gonna bring out the caution. Gonna give us an opportunity to take a look at an instant replay and find out exactly what went down. And again, this
The
instant
one,
replay,
it looks like the one come down the 24 to me.
we'll back this up here. We'll take a look at it from the blimp view. And again, this instant replay brought to you by Vidane.net/shop. Go get you a t-shirt, a hoodie, a sticker, a coffee mug, anything like that, and help support Vidane TV. But we'll take a look. One car dipping down low. Casagrande currently had the lead, and you can see he was right in front of the number 24 car. Comes up a little bit, trying to hold on to that middle line. Nowhere to go there on the bottom side. Jonathan Goke was there. No big damage on the 24. Big damage for the one and a couple other cars involved there as well. See some black smoke coming out of a couple of drivers as well. So that's going to be blown motors, unfortunately, and that's going to be a tough break for the one. You can see big time damage on that race car. But up front, still Falkingham Casagrande going to be the 1-2.
Yeah, that took about 5 of them out right there, didn't it?
Yeah, a handful of quick drivers here that have kind of worked their way up towards the front. And, you know, anything can happen here in the iRacing simulation. Here you can see everybody coming down pit road at this point, trying to get some service, get a little bit of fuel into those race car, and possibly some tires. But, man, it's crazy to see just how quick things happen. There you can see a bunch of damaged race cars already on pit road, and here come the leaders coming down that long, super long front stretch.
Yeah, I think from here out, if I was in this race tonight, what I would do is I would fall back, hold on to the draft, and avoid the wrecks. What would you do?
You know, that's usually my my forte there in super speedways. There you can see Richard Falkingham, Daniel Falkingham, excuse me. No issue getting off pit road there first, and looks like Macklin second. Couple of drivers there you see everybody starting to come back off. The 15 coming off as well. So yeah, that's usually my strategy. I try and hold off into the back of the pack, see if I can make my way towards the front later on and try and avoid any of the wrecks. But usually that comes around to bite me. And man, DJ, there's a lot of unknowns here at this racetrack as well, being that it's really only been on the iRacing service for a week, maybe 2 weeks. So these guys don't even have enough time on this racetrack to call themselves good at it.
Yeah, that's true. It's just hard. I mean, even with Daytona and Talladega, you don't know where to put yourself at. I mean, we always have like these team plans, and sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. Here, this is almost like a Bristol corners with some crazy straightaways.
Yeah, at about 250 miles an hour. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's almost like a Bristol at 250 miles an hour. But speaking
There
of
you go,
250
exactly.
miles an hour, Wes Hogue currently tied for the points lead in a position he's in right now. He's actually moving into the points lead, taking it just a little bit of Bill's Mafia action on that number 20 car. Wes, how's the race going so far, brother?
Man, it's like dodging bullets in the middle of a war zone. I got 7 seconds of damage on this car just by hitting the apron. This track is so damn just brutal on you. Just trying to miss the big ones. I see that the guy I was tied with in points had some unfortunate events here. I feel bad there for Bobby. Bobby's a hell of a guy. Don't want to ever see that. But man, you're on top of this wheel non-stop in this race. This is nuts, Paul.
Yeah, lots of non-stop action here. We're getting ready to go back green. The lights are off on the pace car. Just taking a look at the paint scheme right now. Seeing the Buffalo Bills there on the race scheme. They just won the Stanley Cup here tonight, didn't they?
Like that's the closest we've been to anything close to that. But we're going to the playoffs. But that happened about 3 or 4 hours ago. I'm trying to bring myself home a solid finish here today at iRacing SuperSpeedway.
Absolutely. Always good to talk to you, brother. We'll let you get back to work here.
Thank you, buddy. Just because it's curable doesn't mean it's cool. Let's pull it off.
That's right. Rowdy Wesley Hogue, current points leader, and he made mention of Bobby Wetzel, who he came into the night tied with in the points lead, unfortunately having a rough go at it. And we'll take a look, see if we can find him in the timing and scoring. Looks like he's 27th right now, 2 laps down. So tough break for the 9 car. Good break for Wes Hogue there in the 20 Bills Mafia machine. But right now, Daniel Falkingham really doing a great job trying to hold off pretty much showed us, DJ, that he doesn't want to lag back. He doesn't want to stay in the middle of the pack. He doesn't want to stay in the back. He wants to lead this race.
Yeah, you don't want to get in the middle of it. Is that what we call the S show?
That's right. Try to keep things PG-13 here at Vidane Racing.
Yes.
But absolutely, you got that 100% right. Lights are off on the pace car. He dips on down low. Going to come back to the green flag here, and there you go. Another little wiggle there. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle out of Daniel Falkingham. Mashes that gas pedal, heads on down to turn number 1. Brian Macklin right behind him, and the 93 of Kevin Brown pushing the back bumper of the 30.
Yeah, you know, this ought to tell you how new this track is, because anywhere else we go, when the green flag drops or when the leader goes, we're all on top of each other. Here, they got spread out right off the get-go.
I've only been able to run a couple of practice laps here at the iRacing SuperSpeedway, but I've noticed a lot of times it's really tough to even get to the green flag. Drivers trying to not used to the high, the real high limit of the pace, the pace speed, 85, 90 miles an hour coming under caution. So, but give the lead right now. It looks like Falkingham drops back down to third. 93 car Kevin Brown really pushing the back bumper of Brian Macklin, moving him up towards the front. We saw that work really well earlier on here, DJ, but as quickly as that gap builds up, they can close it right back up as soon as these drivers are able to work together.
Yeah, there's no way you can get away. I mean, everybody's going to catch it. As long as everybody, you know, works with each other, nobody's going to get away.
Bumper to bumper, side by side up front. You can see lots of different lines here at the 250 mile an hour Bristol Motor Speedway, as we're going to start calling it here. These drivers doing a crazy job here. You can see coming off of turn 4, everybody fans out and they try and find where the driver is in front of them, fall into their tire tracks, fall into their draft, and see if they can move their way up towards the front, try and get around this number 30 of Brian Macklin.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. There's Joey. Joey's in about 10th or 12th. He's hanging on to the lead draft. Let's see what happens.
Back there with another SIM500 regular, a couple of SIM500 regulars. Glenn Campbell, EJ O'Rourke there, and the number 41, the 44, Glenn Campbell. Chad Coleman as well in the picture. He's currently 38th in that kick-ass beef jerky ride. So he's kind of backed up just a little bit. Started 15th, currently 17th. Not really going anywhere at this point, but you can see kind of closing up in the back end of that pack, still in the draft, kind of taking along that strategy that you and I talked about earlier here, DJ. Lagging back, just trying to wait and see what goes down, and you see a little bit of damage there on the front end of the 38 machine, but doing a good job holding on to the back of the pack and really kind of biding his time. Not quite halfway here at the Tommy Boy Towing 150, so we'll definitely be on the lookout to see if Chad Coleman can move his way up towards the front.
Yeah, I see 17. Oh, we got it right.
There goes Wes. Looks like Wes was hard into the wall. The number 20 machine just spoke to him, came in, tied in the points lead, and unfortunately it looks like just there you see him stuck on the bottom on the apron. So we'll back up the old instant replay, find out what went down. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad on that 20 machine, but we'll back up the tapes and see what went down. Again, this instant replay brought to you by Vidane.net/shop. We got t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got coffee mugs, we got tank tops, we got stickers, all sorts of cool stuff at the Vidane merchandise hut. So check that stuff out as well. And we're going to focus here on the number 20. He's outside. 34 kind of dips down low, makes it 3 wide, and looks like the 34 just kind of bounces off the car there down low. So that's definitely going to cause a little bit of damage to Wes and the 20 machine. There you see he almost gets stuck on the banking trying to get up the racetrack. Has to throw it in reverse, grab a gear, and point her in the right direction. So tough break for Wes. Currently scored 20th, still on the lead lap. Definitely going to be coming down pit road and repairing some of that damage here on these long caution laps.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of net code with a 34, and it shot him into Wes. Wes had nowhere to go, man. That's one of them things you just want to say, God, why'd I do this? But no matter what you say, you're going to do it again tomorrow night. So Wes needs to keep digging.
And keep digging, he shall. He wants that championship, DJ. Wes has actually finished. We've done the championship belt. This is going to be the third time we've done the championship belt here at Vidane Racing. Wes has finished second twice. Second to Ian Plash back in 2014, and second to Jarrett Bolliard earlier on in 2020. And there you can see the entire field coming down pit road to get some service done on these race cars. And yeah, Wes is hungry. He wants that championship belt. He wants the free ride for Rent-A-Racecar. And Rent-A-Racecar, good friends of ours here at Vidane TV, supplying the free street stock rental at Stafford Motor Speedway. And they basically charge $600 for the rental and a $500 crash deposit. As long as the car comes back in one piece, so does your deposit. You get everything back that night, and you're able to essentially go out, show up, you get the practice sessions, you get a heat race, and you get the feature event as well. So pretty cool. And we're actually going to be doing a double champion feature at Stafford Motor Speedway in the 2021 season, because Jarrett Bolliard, who won the championship last year, wasn't able to make it to the track to get to capitalize on his free ride. So doing a champion versus champion deal here at Stafford Motor Speedway up here in Connecticut, northern Connecticut, almost in Massachusetts. But man, really looking forward to that. Absolutely going to be a party. And we're still working with Gary Spinato Jr., the owner of Rent-A-Racecar, to try and figure out what date we're going to do that. SRX, Tony Stewart's, and Ray Evernham's league just announced that they're going to be at Stafford Motor Speedway this summer. So may very well try and capitalize on that weekend, get some eyes here on Vidane TV.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. I've been looking at the Tony Stewart series. I'm thinking about going to as many as I can.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty cool little deal. Kind of an alternative to the everyday racing that you see on TV. It's cool that he was able to get a TV deal, and it'll be neat to see a lot of different racing styles from different racing backgrounds racing against each other, as well as the different styles of crew chief. And it's pretty cool, the more details we see coming out with that series, where each race they're pretty much drawing out of a hat to find out which car and which crew chief they're going to be working with that evening.
Yeah, I'm all about that. All right, so we're looking at Wes. Front fenders look good. Front looks good. Only thing he's missing is a rear bumper. Like his spoiler might be pushed up some. What do you think?
Yeah, taking a look at him right now, he still seems like he's up to speed, trying to catch up to the back of the pack here. There you can see the back bumper is gone as he comes down and tries to catch up in the back of the field. So it's going to be tough to see. These cars handle very differently coming up on some of the slower cars that are getting the end of the longest line, but he's still going to be restarting in on the lead lap in the front pack, so we'll see what you can see here. There you can see the 12 car lost, looking like a modified almost. Missing the front part of that race car, trying to pull up. That's Nick Hurd there, currently 10 laps down. Might have missed the start or been involved in one of those early wrecks. But yeah, we'll see what Wes can do. He's definitely a patient driver, always wanting to try and capitalize, and always has the big picture on his mind. So we'll see what Wes can do here.
Yeah, this ought to be good. I think he'll be okay. As long as he gets somebody behind him, as long as he stay, don't be the last car in the draft, he should be fine.
And that's one of those things, a lot of times you don't want to work with a damaged race car, but a lot of times you're also damaged yourself. So that's going to be Wes's best bet. Try and find somebody else with a little bit of damage, see if they can work together and try and keep on the back of this pack. But this pack getting led down. There goes the iRacing Mustang pace car. Dips down pit road. He's going to get himself a corn dog. Pull up the race here on Vidane TV on your cell phone. And there you see Kevin Brown, Daniel Falkingham leading us to the lead. Jose Gonzalez and Jamie Dobbs in the second row. Great start from the number 3. Clears the number 39 up front, and we're single file for the top 5-6 cars for about a second. And there you can see the Goya 26 peeking on the outside already. Then he dips down on the inside just as fast as we call the action. The action changes right in front of our eyes here, DJ.
Oh, yeah, it's getting good right here.
Too wide for the lead, and the lead very quickly goes over to Daniel Falkingham. Has a couple of cars pushing him on the outside lane, moving his car up towards the front. But just like that, the 26, Jose Gonzalez, he wants the lead. He's going to move his car on the front and the outside, but then kind of drop back just a little bit because he's got no help Here comes to help the number 79 machine of Jarrett Bolliard, the champ, moving his way up into the 5th position. He's got Brian Macklin behind him. That's going to put him in the lead very, very quickly. There you can see the expertise between Jarrett Bolliard and Brian Macklin moving all the way up to the front, to the lead, and there goes Jarrett Bolliard down in front. That's why he is Vidane Racing's reigning and defending champion. Moves like that. Jarrett Bolliard started 11th, currently first. Give that lap to him. Nope, doesn't even get a chance to lead that lap as he's coming under fire from Daniel Falkingham, who now has that push from Brian Macklin. That 30 machine definitely going to be a factor later on in this race here, DJ.
Yes, and I've seen the top 3 right there. Buckingham, Macklin, and Kevin Brown. I've seen them work together, and even 26. They all work together. They're going to be hard to beat.
Still in that picture as well as the number 91 of Jamie Dobbs holding on. He's trying to find someone to work with. You can see he's back and forth between the high line and the low line. Not really sure who he's willing to work with. And it's tough, too, because the 79, Jarrett Bolliard, he's a Vidane Racing regular. Doesn't really race too much SIM500, and he's surrounded by the SIM500 veterans up in the front top 5. So really tough to find yourself someone to work with. Here we go. We just passed the middle point of the race, working lap 27 here of 50 at this 3-mile super speedway. iRacing Super Speedway just came out within the past 2 weeks, and this is the very first, the maiden voyage, if you will, here for both Vidane TV and SIM500. So pretty exciting to have that. There you can see Jarrett Bolliard picks up Kyle Casagrande, works with him for about a split second. Jarrett Bolliard jumps up high. Kyle Casagrande, he's going to tuck in the back bumper of the number 30 of Brian Macklin.
Yeah, and Joey's sitting back there just sniffing, seeing what's going to go on, following the lane. So it's going to get very, very interesting.
I noticed that about Joey. He's really good at trying to find himself up in the front. He's got a little bit of TV time. Get the sponsors up there. There you see Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, SIM500, Trans Service on the deck lid there. Gets up front, gets some TV time for the sponsors, and then he'll kind of dip back and wait for everybody to wreck, and then he'll kind of move himself up towards the front. So definitely a very methodic racing style for the number 14 of Joey Gattina, one of the SIM500 originals. He's the administrator, lead administrator, and founder of SIM500, and very gracious. It came up to Vidane Racing this past offseason, and said, hey, we want to work with you. And here we are. The SIM500 Vidane Racing SuperSpeedway Series was born. So great racing here. There you can see the 12 going another lap down. Man, that poor car looking like an SK modified, trying to hold on. But man, Joey just kind of biding his time right now. He's going to tuck in behind the champ there of the 78-9 of Jarrett Bolliard. And man, it's just the top 10 at this point. Throw a blanket over them. They're right up, bumper to bumper, door to door.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Joey does a good job with all the personalities at SIM500. I come from the old school, from 1995 and Papyrus and all that stuff, through the ranks of 2003s. With Dan Denayer and DMP, and I would put Dan Denayer and Joey Gattina as probably the 2 best guys to run a league.
Absolutely, definitely. DMP's going way back. It was pretty cool to see. One of the Vidane Racing originals, James Gutta, was actually able to run a few DMP races sponsored by the X-Lander Ride, and man, that was years and years ago. That was holy moly, that was almost 10 years ago that happened.
Oh yeah, it's been let's see, 2005 I think is when I joined DMP in 2003 series. So I used to actually pay people to work my shift at the fire department so I could get home and race online.
Oh yeah, I remember way back in the day, NASCAR Heat and NASCAR 2 Race in 2003 season. I've done them all. I've been doing this since about 2005, the whole sim racing deal. On board right now with the number 7 of Kyle Casagrande, and you can see battle for a lead out his windshield. But man, it's crazy to see how far sim racing has come, and to say that, you and I be sitting here tonight, a DMP original sitting here calling a SIM500 Vidane race on Vidane TV. Blows my mind, man. It's pretty cool to see. Everything kind of comes full circle.
Yep, I tried to retire, but it won't let me go.
That's right.
I keep getting sucked back in.
Yep, we took a couple of years off here of Vidane Racing. We did the league deal. We came back after 4 or 5 years, had a lot of fun. Jarrett Bolliard, we crowned the champion, gave him the championship belt. And you know what? The TV stuff is more fun for me because I'm better at it.
I hear you. But they're definitely dicing it up front.
Side by side, bumper to bumper up front. Falkingham down low with the help of Kyle Casagrande. Macklin up high with the help of the champ, Jarrett Bolliard. There you can see the 93, the 91, the 76, and Joey Gattina kind of dipping on back and trying to hold on. And there we see him. There he is, Chad Coleman, the number 38. We told you, be on the lookout for that 38 machine because he's definitely going to be a factor in the race. Here he comes, lap 33. He's moved his way into the top 10, started 15th, and he's kind of whining and dining, dicing his way, trying to find a way, trying to find the quickest path up towards the front, the path of least resistance. Getting a good push there from E.J. O'Rourke, last week's winner, who clinched his spot in the championship 10 race, championship round of 10.
Yeah, you gotta watch EJ too. He's another one of those sneaky guys that can sneak in there and win one.
For sure, and there you can see the champ dipped up high, trying to get a little bit of help up front. Here comes Chad Coleman. You can see he's got a caved-in front bumper, so he's going to try and, well, it doesn't look like he's, well, you know what? It's tough to say. He's trying to work up, maybe get a draft off of Bolliard, but Bolliard going to drop towards the back of the pack, kind of regather his thoughts, and maybe see him later on in the race. Up front still Brian Macklin, Kevin Brown, Daniel Falkingham, Jamie Dobbs, Kyle Casagrande holding on to that top 5 position.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I just wish those big races, big wrecks wouldn't have took all the other guys out because it would have been awesome to see those guys in it.
For sure, we had 43 cars start the race. Taking a quick peek, looks like 12 drivers have retired from this race. A couple of cars still sitting on pit road. Bobby Wetzel, the 9 car, currently sitting on pit road. He came in tied with the points lead of Rowdy Wesley Hogue. Wes is currently running in the 16th position. He's in that little 4-car pack, just kind of biding his time, trying to hold on. He's got some good company, the 26, Jose Gonzalez, Steve Herring, and Mitchell Hunt there in the 77 ride, that all chrome car. So those drivers have lost the main pack, but they're still kind of working together. And you can see still right around there, up to speed, kind of 240, 250. So a little bit of damage on those cars, not quite racing up front, but they're still able to draft with each other and try and work their way up towards the front. But speaking of the front, the champ is here. 79 gets a little bit of help, finds himself a couple of friends. The 93 pushes him all the way up towards the lead. And they see the 41 car trying to push the 39, the 93 back around E.J. O'Rourke. E.J. O'Rourke was just running 8th the last time we checked with him. Back there with Chad Coleman and Joey Gattina. But he's all the way up front. And there you can see another car going a lap down. Man, it's insane to me how we can have this track this big and these drivers are going from 10th to 1st within a lap.
Yeah, it's insane. And you know, you're talking about Wes. All he needs to do is keep just digging, because there's going to be another wreck, I feel.
Oh, for sure.
So,
these
yeah,
drivers.
when these guys wreck, go under caution, he's going to be right there in the catbird seat again. So
definitely saw that happen before. We actually had a race where Chad Coleman was winning, ran out of gas coming out of turn number 2 on the second green-white checkered. Huge wreck. Wes ended up finishing 3rd. I think he was running about 32nd when that caution or when that green flag dropped. But getting dicey up front, the 41, E.J. O'Rourke, he wants to get up towards the front. There you can see he's in the back bumper to Jarrett Bolliard. The champ is here. Give that lap to Jarrett Bolliard. Finally, it's crazy to see how quickly that driver is, or how tough it is for a driver that quick to lead a lap. And you can see riding on board going into 1 and 2, still 235 miles an hour. And just coming down that massive backstretch there, you see a little bit of a wiggle trying to hold on to it.
Kevin Brown got shucked down to the apron. That was about a wreck.
Oh, there's a wreck.
Oh, there it is.
Doesn't look like the caution flag flies just yet. The 7 car, Kyle Casagrande, violently turns left, comes back up. There you can see, gets the 36. Unfortunately, nowhere for him to go. Caution flag still doesn't fly. There it is. Caution flag comes out again here at the iRacing Super Speedway. And there you can see Wes Hogue, no damage there on his car. But, man, tough break for Kyle Casagrande. We'll pull up the instant replay sponsored by the Vidane Racing merchandise booth. And we're going to focus on the 7X side batteries machine. You can see E.J. O'Rourke on the inside, Chad Coleman all the way on the inside. And, yeah, just E.J. O'Rourke, spotter didn't tell him he was clear. So 7 car holds onto the grass, doesn't hit anything, doesn't even hit the walls. He comes back up, but gets a huge shot in the back there from the 36 ride. So that's definitely going to affect the handling and the drafting of that car. And there you can see Wes Hogue making it by, no damage there. We'll see if we can take a look at the E.J. O'Rourke machine here. We'll back this up again. See if we can find out just what went down. You can see E.J. getting a push from Fockingham, trying to get up to the lead there. Gets in the back bumper of the 93. 93 gets out of shape. 93 goes down below the yellow. He saves it. Great heads-up driving there in the 93. EJ just trying to find himself a spot in line at that point, and unfortunately there wasn't one. So 7 car of Kyle Casagrande gets spun around and sent towards the back of the pack. No huge damage, but still pretty tough. That's still going to give the lead to Jarrett Bolliard as they cross the line at that point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw right there. There was a lot of dicing and just want no room.
No room for error there, but looking right now, tire time. And these guys are coming down. They're getting more fuel. They're getting more tires. Going 250 miles an hour here at this 3-mile super speedway. Absolutely going to be wearing down the tires. And, man, 10 laps to go already here in the Tommy Boy Towing 150. And it's 40 laps down, 10 laps to go. Seen some crazy action, a lot of big wrecks. There you can see the Ream machine making his way. He's going to lead him down pit road. Looks like he may have just stopped for 2 tires there. You can see Macklin coming off second. The Taco car, he's going to be third. I believe that's Fockingham coming off right now. E.J. O'Rourke. There's Wesley Hogue. He's going to come out in the top 10. That's going to be big-time news here for the championship battle, as you still see a lot of cars on pit road getting service, getting 4 tires, getting those hammers, working them hammers out just a little bit. Jonathan Goat there, the Pepsi ride. He's got some big-time damage.
Yeah, they definitely, you wreck here, you wreck hard.
Yeah, for sure. You wreck hard at Bristol, and you wreck real hard at Bristol when you're doing 250.
Exactly. The Bristol 250, you are definitely going to wreck hard.
Yes, sir. And we're taking a look right now. Jarrett Bolliard there, the number 79 machine. I believe he came off pit road first. So he's going to be scored the leader as we come back around on the under the caution here. Grab the checkered line, the start-finish line. We'll get that timing and scoring updated there on the top of your screen. Let's see if we maybe can't dial up the champ. The champ is here, or however that goes. Jarrett Bolliard, the number 79 current leader. How's it going, Jarrett? Good race so far.
It's been good. I had to avoid some big wrecks at the start and skated my way through a couple of them, and now I'm up in the lead.
Doing a great job. We see you're kind of working the same strategy you've worked here in the past. It's just unfortunate so far this season you've been caught up in a couple of wrecks that were kind of outside of your power, but so far so good here. We're within 10 to go. Looks like we're going to have 9 to go, 8 to go at the restarts. The lights are off in the pace car. You got anything for him?
Yeah, I'm gonna block like my life depends on it, I guess. I don't know. There's still 9 laps to go. I'm not gonna block like crazy yet, but we'll see. It's all about getting the run at the right time here. And so far, I went from 11th to 1st on the backstretch one time. So you can win this thing from pretty much anywhere coming out, as long as you get the run coming out of turn 2. So we'll see what happens, I guess. Just need to be in the right place at the right time, just like every other one of these races.
Absolutely. Jarrett Bolliard, the number 79. Current leader with this restart with 8 laps to go. Good luck, Jarrett.
Man.
Good luck, Jarrett.
Jarrett Bolliard, the leader of the number 79 machine. This lap, anyway, in the last lap, because it was under caution. A lot of talent in this field, and Jarrett Bolliard trying to find himself a way to win one of these races and lock himself into that championship round of 10 and move on to the Fatal 4-Way Championship.
Looks like Wes Hogue. Looks like Wes Hogue is fixing to start 7th.
Jacked up car and all. It looks like somebody that back bumper looks like a table that one of the Bills Mafia fans may have put themselves through. All sorts of smashed up. But
As
Wes
long
Hogue.
as he keep somebody behind him, he will be okay. I think with the race car like that.
Got the 91 of Jamie Dobbs behind him right now. Saw him up front earlier on, but up front still going to be Jarrett Bolliard, Brian Macklin. They were side by side. There you see a great start there from this number 79 Ream Machine. He's going to move himself into turn number 1 with a big time run coming from the taco car of Gale Brooks. He's moving his way up on the outside, but there you see Wes Hogue, his teammate. Couple of OGs there from Vidane Racing. Jarrett Bolliard up front in the 79, Rowdy Wesley Hogue in the number 20, and they're going to be working together. You can bet those guys are going to be pushing the crap out of each other to try and win this race.
Yeah, Wes needs somebody behind him. If he don't have nobody behind him with that damage, he's going to struggle. But he does have speed. You just got to have somebody behind him.
Yeah, he's got to have somebody with some patience behind him. And unfortunately, everybody wants to be up towards the front because it's less than 10 laps to go here in the Tommy Boy Towing 150. And there you can see the champ hooking up behind Macklin, trying to hold on and see if he can just basically keep himself in the top 3 or 4 cars to try and make some kind of move. But Wes Hogue there, you can see it inside dropping like a rock. Just nobody to get behind him and push that race car.
Yeah, you said patience. I don't think none of these guys know that.
No, sir, not at this point, and not at this venture of this race. But man, oh man, it's still crazy to see that we've got 21, 22 cars in this lead pack, and led by the champ Jarrett Bolliard. You can see he moves his way up in front of Macklin and Falkingham, who are side by side for second. Gale Brooks there in the number 71 is in 4th. Kevin Brown 5th. And we cross the stripe, and all that's going to change. 3 wide for the lead as we cross the stripe. 7 laps to go here in the Tommy Boy Towing 150.
Yep, and that's what Jarrett was talking about. Is all the sim guys jump, ganging up on him. He goes from 11th to 1st, so he's still okay. Just hang in there. He'll be all right. I've watched him draft. He's good.
A lot of different styles, a lot of different drivers and personalities here in this race. SIM500 and Vidane Racing coming together for the biggest collaboration in sim racing history. Pretty cool to see all the different names, all the different drivers, and all the different personalities. Brian Macklin coming to the stripe. He's going to lead him down. The flag man gives him a handful. 5 laps to go. 45 down, 5 to go, and it's still anybody's race here, DJ.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Now he's pushing the 39 to the front. So, like I said, 79, Jarrett is, he is game on.
A lot of weaving and bobbing, Dyson back and forth, high line, low line. Jarrett Bolliard gets picked up to the outside.
Kevin Brown, 3 deep. Kevin Brown, watch him.
Jarrett trying to find himself a way to get back in front of the 17 machine. Haven't talked about him all night. Chad Cole moving his way into the top 5. Jarrett Bolliard starting to slip back on the outside, but you can see that Bills logo on the hood of the number 20 car trying to work his way back up to the teammate of Jarrett Bolliard. A couple of Vidane Racing OGs. There you can see Wes dipping down low in front of the number 76 and 6 of Jim Brooks. And just trying to, at this point, trying to find yourself a dance partner, trying to get your way up towards the front. It's not quite a 2-car tango track, but it's absolutely going to help if you have 2 guys linked up bumper to bumper.
Yeah, exactly. And from here on, Jarrett don't need to be a nice guy. He's got to play dirty from here on out.
Absolutely, and that's one of those words I don't think is actually in Jarrett's vocabulary. One of the nicest guys I've met, one of the cleanest racers I've met as well. But we're just 3 wide for the lead, and we can see it bounces back, it fixes itself. 93 up high, 39 down low. Give that lap to Kevin Brown. 93 leads that lap. Another lap car there. There you can see the 08 of O'Leary way up high, gives everybody plenty of room. But the 39 of Falkingham down low. Oh, Joey Katina wrecked on the outside. Big time wreck there. 4 laps to go. Caution's going to come out. That changes everything. Tough break for Joey Katina. That's going to immediately put him down on pit road. Get that race car off the track and try and figure out what went down. We'll back up the instant replay again, brought to you by the Vidane TV merchandise tent. Get yourself a t-shirt, a sweatshirt. Holy moly, he must have spun about 16 times. Get yourself a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a tank top, a coffee mug, a championship sticker, anything like that, we got it at Vidane.net/shop. But I'm going to focus in on the number 14 car, Joey Gattina, the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Ride. And you'll see here, right in the back bumper, up towards the front, he gets a little bit out of shape. Jarrett Bolliard, unfortunately, gets into the quarter panel, sends Jarrett Bolliard flipping as well as Joey Gattina. He spins around like a top, so tough break for Gattina, tough break for the champ as well. Trying to come out and get himself a win to try and lock himself into this this championship battle, but 79 car, there you can see, stuck down on pit road. He's going to retire from this race as well. Already a lap down, big time damage to that 79. It's just less than 5 laps to go. You really don't want to burp the throttle. You don't want to back up too much, but man, it's a tough break for the 79 and the 14.
Yeah, that was God, that was just so close, and like I was just watching, and like what Jarrett said, a little bit of net code. Oh my God, that fast, you're done.
Yeah, things happen quickly in super speedway racing. They happen extra quick when the racetrack is 3 miles long and you're doing 250 in the corners. So tough break for those guys. Daniel Falkingham, Kevin Brown still up front. Brian Macklin, Gail Brooks, Jamie Dobbs rounding out the top 5. Most of the leaders staying out, it looks like. Wes Hogue, your championship leader, currently running in the 8th position. Trying to limp that car home to a good finish. Got the big picture, just like the Buffalo Bills. Trying to do big picture racing here tonight. Trying to capitalize on a good finish. Unfortunately, the driver he was tied with coming into the evening as the points leader, Bobby Wetzel, still on pit road in that number 9 machine, currently scored 33rd, a bunch of laps down. So good points day for the number 20, tough points day for the 9 car. And there's our driver we haven't talked about too much tonight. You see Richard Beasley taking that tied car down on pit road, get some service on that. He's 10 laps down, currently scored in the 25th position. And there you can see the 33 coming down for some service as well. Tyler Hallahan, we've been speaking to him on Vidane TV, 2 laps down currently, trying to get some service done on that car. But up front, still Daniel Falkingham and Kevin Brown, Brian Macklin, Gail Brooks, and Jamie Dobbs in the top 5.
Yeah, what do we have? How many laps we got left?
Green, white, checkered. We got 3 laps on the board, so...
Oh, good gracious. All this excitement. I was thinking we had like 10, 15 laps going. Shoot.
Things happen in the blink of an eye when you're at the Bristol 250.
Shoot, yeah. No wonder my wife's upstairs going, will you shut up? Man, I hate to see that wreck with them too. The warping and all that good stuff. Man, that was fixing... As like I said, it's just more cars that you want at the end, you know. If there's a way we could get the that net code out of this, oh my God, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, and it's tough for this big racetrack. Still very, very new to the service, but gonna see if we can talk to a driver very near and dear to our hearts here at Vidane TV. Kyle Young, the number 94 machine here tonight. Couple laps down, still sitting on pit road, trying to get some service on that. Kyle, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How we doing, Paul?
Not, well, doing a little bit better than you are, unfortunately. What happened?
Well, I had a great opportunity to get through that first wreck. Had the car, saw the wreck in time, slowed down, had a good way to get around it. And I don't know, for whatever reason, Tyler Hallahan doesn't know what a brake pedal is. And I got a record brake by the 33 car and piled into it, got a big old piece of it and tried to fix it up and got it to just about 10 seconds left to go with damage. And she blew up on me. So we've just been hanging out trying to see if it would be possible to get back out on the racetrack at all. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as I currently have another 9.5 minutes of engine replacement surgery to go. So we're going to be hanging out in the cheap seats watching this one, and probably going to go have a word with that 33 team by the time we're done.
Well, if you don't have any spotting duties to do with the OG Vidane Racing team, we got a spot up here. You'll have to pull up a milk crate because we didn't bring any chairs here with us to the Coca-Cola iRacing, or check that, the iRacing Super Speedway. But more than welcome to call the end of this race here.
Well, I guess we might as well, see my pretty face doesn't have anything else to do, right?
That's right. We actually, you know what?
That's what I call my face. It's pretty.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of pretty faces, I don't have one of those. So I actually went to the Vidane TV merchandise tent, vidane.net/shop. We got face masks. Check that stuff out.
There you go.
But the iRacing Mustang pace car going to tip on down pit road one more again. You can see Falkingham down low, Kevin Brown up high, Macklin, Gale Brooks, Jamie Dobbs, the top 5. Points leader Wes Hogue, he's back in the top 10, taking that Bills Mafia machine to the 9th position. Green flag one more time. Daniel Falkingham gets a jump, but the 93 there of Kevin Brown still holding tough on the outside by himself, but the Brian Macklin machine of number 30, one of the biggest pushers, one of the best pushers here in the iRacing simulating here in Vidane Racing as well as SIM500, pushes Falkingham, and you can see big time gap between the 2nd position and 3rd.
Yeah, let's not forget, he came from the heat races.
Not a big qualifier, but a huge, big-time racer. You see, gets a little bit wobbly there. Hit comes down from the high line, down to the low line, clips the apron just a little bit. Now Falkingham's going to push the back of Brian Macklin back down to the front straightaway, crossing the stripe, white flag, white rag, and man, oh man, the number 93, Kevin Brown, doing a great job getting pushed by the 71 of, or the 17 rather, Chad Cole.
Yeah, but it's fixed to get really, really, really good right here.
Down the back straightaway for the final time. EJ O'Rourke bounces off of the inside apron. He rejoins the track. Top 4 cars still staying single file. A great push from Chad Cole to Kevin Brown. Daniel Falkingham looking to the top side, going to 3. He drops back down in line. They still stay single file. Nobody making a move just yet. One more shot coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, Falkenham will have, he's going to the front. Daniel is going to the front.
They're going to go 3 wide for the win, and it's Kevin Brown across this stripe.
Oh,
the number
wow.
93 machine, Kevin Brown, hangs on to it. He wins in a photo finish fashion. 21 thousandths of a second over Daniel Falkingham in position number 2. Chad Cole hangs on for 3rd place in that 3 wide finish. Brian Macklin finishes in position number 4. EJ O'Rourke completing your top 5. Wes Hogue, heavy rear end damage to that machine. He salvages a top 10 run and comes home in 6th. Guy Brooks 7th, 8th place to Glenn Campbell. Jose Gonzalez 9th, and Jim Brooks in the number 76 will complete your top 10 finishers here tonight.
Crazy finish here at the iRacing Super Speedway. Rounding out the rest of the field, Jamie Dobbs finishes 11th. Raymond Rittenauer 12th. Mitchell Hunt, didn't really talk about him too much. He finishes 13th. Jonathan Goke, a little bit of damage on the 24 Pepsi ride, 14th. Kevin Fries, Steve Herring, Jason Netherly, Aaron Smith, Chad Coleman there in 19th. Kyle Casagrande, who ran up front for the better half of at least a third of the race here, finishes 20th. And just kind of rounding out the field is the 93 Kevin Brown, burns him down. We're going to talk to him momentarily here, but Matt Zaccardo, Tyler Hallahan, Jarrett Bolliard, Joey Gattina, Richard Beasley, Gabe Butler, Nick Hurd, Thomas O'Leary, the 4th, Kyle, there you are, 29th, and Rich Jett, the 30th position. And it's crazy to see 43 starters in this series. Jimmy North, Bobby Wetzel came in tied with a points lead. Unfortunately, he's not going to be the points leader anymore. That's going to go right back to Wes Hogue. Jason Barham, 33rd. Stephen Marinac, 34th. Bill Schoonover, 35th. Randy Yoakum, Anthony Bello, Jeff Ryan, Jimmy Coleman, Chris Cabot. Boop, turn the page. Ralph Vandervoorts, Bruce Lee Weaver, and Don Runkle Jr. are going to round out the field here. And you can see still burning them down is Kevin Brown. Tonight's winner just popped the motor. Put it on, push it onto the trailer. We're done, boys. The driver that won the race started 17th, worked his way all the way up through that calamity, that mayhem, that tangliness. Kevin Brown, your winner. Kevin, what a great race, man. Congratulations.
Dang. Yeah, I was definitely real crazy with this track. This is actually my first time ever racing on here, and wasn't expecting all this. It's definitely crazy.
Yeah, we were just talking, we've been talking all night long about how this track is pretty new in the iRacing simulation. It's been around back in the old NASCAR Racing 2003 days, so it's pretty cool for some of the guys like myself and Kyle Young and DJ Beverly up here in the booth that have been around for, well, decades at this point, but pretty cool to see it come back, and really cool to see some of the newer drivers as well come out to this track for the new time. So this is the first time on this big 3-mile super speedway?
Yeah, definitely.
Now walk us through some of the handling of the race car. Did it? I mean, we're 250 miles an hour in the corners. That's definitely got to be something to behold there.
Oh yeah, especially I didn't realize coming into this thing that there was a huge drop going into turn one, and that's definitely wild, especially when you're tucked up right behind someone you can't see the entry of the corner. That's why so many people drift up so much, because it's just that drop would make it like go tight. It was horrible. It was horrible, but yeah, we made it through it.
Pretty cool to win one of these races, locking yourself. As long as you can get into the top 30, you join Gabe Butler, Marinac, EJ O'Rourke, and Mitchell Hunt, who have won a race. If you can hold on to that top 30 in points, that'll move you into the championship battle here, the final 10, the final round of 10, as we're calling it, here for the SIM500 Vidane Racing SuperSpeedway Championship. Gives you an opportunity to win that beautiful, gorgeous championship belt and give you an opportunity to step inside a street stock at Stafford Motor Speedway, brought to you by Rent-A-Racecar. But man, you can't do this racing deal alone. And we got a lot of logos on that number 93 machine. Who makes it done? Who gets the number 93 Kevin Brown machine to and from the track?
You know my guys down at Brown. I appreciate them for teammates, great teammates. Chris Caboo for painting the paint scheme as always. And also I'd like to dedicate this race to my grandfather, who actually passed away earlier today. So that's unfortunate, but he had cancer, got him, and then that sucks. But he definitely was probably watching. He usually watches the races. So yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Man, that's tough. I'm very, very sorry for your loss from everybody here at Vidane TV, but no better way to cap off something like that than to come home with a win here at the Tommy Boy Towing 150. Congratulations, man. Celebrate as hard as you possibly can.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're gonna.
man. It was meant for you to win, buddy. Hey, that's for your grandfather. You did good.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Let me kick it over to Kyle Young. Looks like, Kyle, you've caught up with P2 finisher. That's going to be Daniel Falkingham, that number 39 machine.
Yeah, that I have. Daniel Falkingham, position number 2 here tonight. Daniel, you spent a lot of your time up at the front of this field. You looked really racy for what I was able to catch there in the last half of this event. What was it like from inside the car? How were you able to strategize and plan your moves on this very unique super speedway tonight?
It was insane. Just running 250 mile an hour, unrestricted speeds and whatnot. It was a blast, man. But just I felt screwed on that last restart, because even me leading the race and whatnot, the runs are so huge, you really can't block them and whatnot, or else you're just going to cause a big wreck and whatnot. So I was pretty much vulnerable right from the backstretch all the way back to the checkered, and we were able to put ourselves in position in third, but just I didn't have the help from Macklin behind me, just because I got too much of a run through 1 and 2, and I pulled away from him, where Chad and Kevin were already hooked up, so no matter what I did, I wasn't going to get back to him. But thankfully, we had one little sniff of the draft there at the end, getting back to the finish, and we were able to snag P2 from Chad there. So that was a little sneaky there, but yeah, I'm just lucky we didn't crash tonight, because I felt it was very easy to wreck tonight, just by the way how the car turns into the corner and where it lands. It's easy to hit the apron and whatnot. A lot of people had issues with that tonight. So, I mean, I was actually surprised how few cautions we had. I thought we were going to have a lot more than we did. So, actually, it was a really, really good race tonight, considering what I thought it was going to be. So, hats off to everyone who raced tonight. It was actually a really fun race, and it was pretty respectable up front as well, if I can say my words right.
During that green-white checkered finish, you top 4 drivers at the front of the field were able to kind of separate yourself from the rest of the pack there. Do you think that played at a disadvantage to you, or did it actually make trying to challenge for the win a little bit easier?
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good question. I know there were so many cars that got knocked out of wrecks tonight, because it was just, I don't know, I'm surprised how many cars got wrecked out and whatnot. So, I mean, with only having a very few cars left running up at the front with a very, full-powered cars, it was definitely going to be a lot easier to get a really good finish, get a top 10 and whatnot. And with all the amount of cars that crashed and whatnot, there was not a lot on the lead laps. So say if we wrecked on the last lap, we could still finish 15th or something, because there was only 20 cars on the lead lap. So thankfully we didn't wreck, and we were able to get a good finish out of it, and we were able to get a little bit of cash as well. So but pretty bummed out we weren't able to win that thing to lock ourselves into the playoffs and whatnot. But thankfully, we still got some really good points. Got some good points these last 2 weeks. So that's really going to help us to make that playoff run if we can't get a victory by then.
So that puts a wrap on 2020 for this series. We'll come back in 3 weeks for race number 6. 3 more opportunities for you to get yourself into the playoffs. What do you think you need to do on that number 39 machine to make it in and get yourself an opportunity to race for a championship?
Well, if we can't win races, it's just hopefully just don't get wrecked and give ourselves some good points finishes. I mean, we were leading a lot of laps tonight, which is pretty good for bonus points as well. So it's very important to get those bonus points and just get good finishing positions, because if you're not able to win races, points are important, because whoever doesn't win races, it's like the next 2 or 3 people get in on points if we don't have any, double winners. So there's not going to be a lot of people to get in on points. So if we can be one of those people that can get on points and not win a race and whatnot, then I feel it's going to be a pretty big accomplishment. And considering pretty much all the points reset and whatnot, and then it's going to battle for the next few weeks. So as long as we just don't get wrecked and we can put ourselves in good position, I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Well, you gave yourself a great opportunity to do just that tonight. Daniel, second place, who would you like to thank for the run?
Yeah, I got to thank First Rate Baylops 207 for being on the car and whatnot. Got to thank Sean Casto for painting up this car for me. I've been running this car for a little while now, and it looks really nice. So thanks to Sean Casto for painting this car up for me. Let's see who else. I got to thank you guys put on the broadcast, Vidane TV for sponsoring the series and whatnot, doing all these amazing cash prizes and whatnot with the belt. So got a lot of good prizes up for grabs. So and it's not without the support of Vidane Racing. So thanks to all you guys, Vidane TV for broadcasting, and just thank everyone else who's involved in this, like Tommy Ryan, Joe Cattina, all the admins who put up with us every week and whatnot. But I bet they'll be glad we get a little bit of a break. Hopefully everyone has a great Christmas, has a great holiday season, and hopefully we can end out what's been a pretty difficult year on a high note and whatnot. So everyone please stay safe and everything. Got to thank everyone who comes out and races each and every week. And thanks to all the fans who come out and watch us each and every week. Thanks to everyone who was watching my stream as well. And yeah, I think that pretty much sums it all up. Oh, and thank all my teammates as well. Chad Coleman, Mitchell Hunt, Richard Beasley, Pedro Mujica, who was watching tonight. And yeah, thank all those guys as well.
Your second place finisher here tonight at the iRacing SuperSpeedway came just 21 thousandths of a second shy of going to victory lane. He suffers a second place finish in that close battle. Daniel Falkingham, runner up here tonight. Paul, I believe you have gotten down to the bottom step podium driver, who Daniel was able to nip by just 9 thousandths of a second for that second place position, and the third party in that 3-wide finish, the 17 machine of Chad Cole.
Yes, sir, and the cream always rises to the top. Ooh, yeah. Chad Cole coming into tonight, 7th in points. Great points in battle, and we just heard Falkingham talk about it himself. Really, really time to start focusing in. If you're not going to be able to win races, you really need to work on the points battle. We saw Bobby Wetzel, who came in tied for the lead, have some issues tonight. Kevin Brown, who was 4th in points, he won, so he doesn't have to worry about points at this point. And Aaron Smith had a rough day as well, 3rd in points. So Chad Cole, great run here tonight. 3rd place finish after starting 9th. Walk us through it, brother.
Yeah, that's quite my first race at iRacing SuperSpeedway there. That's a pretty trippy track. Definitely have a lot of laps there in NR03, but that's been probably about 9 years since I've been on NR03. So I always kind of thought of this place just a ginormous Dover with just the ways the banking falls off as you're on entry and kind of tosses you out of the track on exit. So especially on entry, guys were having a little bit of trouble holding your line. I guess when you're going about the 245, 250, you're going to have that. So there were some big wrecks. I'm just really happy to survive that one, because if you're involved in something, it's going to be pretty big and most likely going to end your night. So yeah, most of these plate races, I just like to hang out in the back, and there's the same strategy again tonight. Kevin, of course, he's going to be aggressive as all get out, and so two different paths to get there, but it worked out for us in the end.
Lots of different strategies here, lots of different personalities. We mentioned that a couple of times throughout the broadcast between SIM500 and Vidane Racing, and man, we didn't really talk about you too much through the start of the middle of the pack, the middle of the race rather, but definitely there towards the end of the race there. Trans service on the hood and the corner panel. Who else makes it happen for the number 17 ride?
Yeah, and Trans Service has been a good sponsor of the Cup Series for the last couple of years, and Glenn has brought them on as my sponsor for the 17 car last couple of years as well. So it's cool to support their colors and get them a little love on the TV. I know you don't focus on guys routing around back in 35th too much, but that's usually where we hang out, so we don't get too much love. So we got to get there at the end, so that's what we did. But tonight we got Tommy Boy Towing sponsoring the race, so we got to give him a shout out. That's Thomas O'Leary, who was in OA tonight for sponsoring the race. Shout out to him, Vidane, and everyone at SIM500 for putting this series on. I'm not a big super speedway racer traditionally, but I don't know. They're fun. It's a love-hate relationship, but this series has been pretty fun. So I got to give hats off to all those guys, and also the teammates, Chris and Don. I don't think they made it past lap 1 or 2, unfortunately. Got to give them a shout out. We had Gael and his dad Jim, and Kevin, of course. Glad to get him a win. He lost his grandfather today, so I'm really happy for him to get the win. Hopefully, be a memorable one for him. And if I missed anyone else, I'm sure I did. We have too many teammates in the in our Discord there. So I love you all. You're my teammates. You're my brothers. We have fun time.
And that's what it's all about here on Vidane TV, having a good time, supporting your brothers in arms, so to speak, in the sim racing world. Chad Cole, the third place finisher here tonight. Great run, great points, great long game battle here. Awesome run here tonight, brother.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, and that's Chad Cole, third place finisher here tonight. Well, that's going to wrap it up, Kyle. That's one heck of a race, the maiden voyage, if you will, here for the iRacing Super Speedway, both in the SIM500 Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series, as well as the very first iRacing Super Speedway race here on Vidane TV. I know you had a little bit of a tainted view on it, but what do you think of the first race?
Well, it was very wild, to say the least. A much different super speedway experience than what any of us, whether you were driving in it, watching it, being up here in the booth, announcing it, a very different experience all the way through. And I got to say, I'm quite surprised at how well the outside line worked. I was talking to the guys that I was hanging out with tonight, and I didn't really think the outside line was going to be much of anything, especially in the turns. But if you had a good enough draft, if you had a good enough push, and a good group of guys in that lane, you could make something happen. You were able to make passes on the outside or in the middle going down the straightaways, and hopefully you were clear of somebody and were able to drop back down to the bottom of the track and keep those positions. So it definitely created a very unique circumstance, very entertaining race. I'm kind of impressed at how quickly that race went by too. 50 laps, I thought initially, I was like, well, this is going to be kind of lengthy, and here we are. It's not even 12:30 yet on the East Coast, and we're getting ready to wrap up and say goodnight. So overall, I think it was a pretty good show. It definitely could have been worse, and I think a lot of people may have feared that to be the case, but I think it put on a really good show, and hopefully everybody that watched here on Vidane TV agrees.
For sure, definitely a unique mixed bag. DJ and I speaking to ourselves up here, kind of like a Bristol Motor Speedway on steroids, doing 250 miles an hour at this 3-mile super speedway. But man, we're gonna take a look right now what's on tap here at Vidane TV, the upcoming events. Couple of gonna have to fire that secretary because we set up a couple more shows here tomorrow night. Here Sunday night, East Coast Winter League, doing a doubleheader. We're actually going to broadcast the very first Light Series race, and we're going to be doing the Pro Series race as well. So 2 races for the East Coast Winter League here tomorrow night. Monday night, you do not want to miss this show. Must-see TV, the NEPS Super Truck Draft. Drafting 20 laps, big block modifieds. There's 6 team captains here, Kyle, and I know you and I are pretty excited about this because it's going to be the first big block race that we call here on Vidane TV. 6 team captains racing a big block race, 20 laps. Not sure what track it is just yet. They're doing a random draw on that Monday night, but pretty much going to be racing for the position that they're going to be calling, or that they're going to be picking in the draft. So the winner picks first, second picks second, third picks third, so on and so forth. Really looking forward to that. We're going to do the draft here live as well. Going to be picking out the 6 teams of 3 drivers. All the manufacturers and all of the team captains get to pick the schedule too. So you're going to be able to really see the NEP Super Truck Series come to life in front of your very eyes, which is very exciting. Tuesday night, not added to the schedule just yet, but we're doing another Tim's Corner Motorsports Smashed Potatoes. I believe that's going to be at the Charlotte Legends Oval going to be doing some big-time racing there. And that pretty much wraps us up for the year. Might have a couple of shows come on here last minute. The New Year's Bash, December 31st, obviously New Year's Eve, 8 p.m. Eastern. Kind of a tentative schedule. We're not really sure what we're doing just yet. Still trying to talk to a couple of different groups. We might go all night. We might go for a couple hours. We might just kind of figure it out there. But 2021 kicks off with a bang. January 4th, we got the Neps League, the Chalu 60, Tim's Corner Weekly Double there on January 6th. We're going to be doing the Showtime Cup Series there on January 6th as well. So lots of stuff going on, and you can see January 7th, the Neps Angry Tree Guy 100 coming up as well. So lots of big-time stuff coming up here on Vidane TV to wrap out the year. Not done yet. Still got a whole lot of action coming on for 2020. This crazy, hectic year that it's been, and big-time stuff coming on for 2021. Still penciled. We penciled in the deal for RBR Maritime Group today, just this afternoon. They're going to be jumping on for another season, the Showtime Cup Series. You saw them debut here on Vidane TV this past Wednesday. So those guys are going to be putting on a heck of a show here Wednesday nights. And lots of leagues that are coming on. A couple of, I know I'm forgetting a couple. My notebook got wet. I spilled one of my Trulies on them, unfortunately. So tough break for me, I guess. But lots of stuff coming up. We're going to bring you all the action here at Vidane TV live, and man, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to entertain the masses. So huge shout out to Tommy Boy Towing again for jumping on, sponsoring this race last minute, the SIM500 Vidane Racing SuperSpeedway Racing Series. 5 races down, 5 different winners, and it looks like Rowdy Wesley Hogue is still going to be leading the points heading into the next event here. And taking a look at the updated points right now, Wes Hogue is your points leader. Kevin Brown, he's already won. He is in second, so he's already locked in. But Chad Cole, he moves his way up to third. He hasn't won yet. Aaron Smith drops back to 4th position. Daniel Flockingham, 5th. Bobby Wetzel drops all the way back down to 6th. Raymond Rittenauer, 7th. Jonathan Goke, 8th. E.J. O'Rourke, 9th. And Stephen Marinac in 10th in points. So be sure to check out all the details, all the stats, all that good stuff at sim500.com/series and click on that Vidane Racing Super Speedway link, and you'll be able to get all of the stats here for this particular series. But that's going to wrap us up here for tonight. Thank you guys so much for welcoming us into your homes here in these troubled times. We want to entertain the masses, and I hope we did that tonight. Let us know where you watched from, who you're watching from. Join the conversation. Hashtag Vidane TV. We'll catch you guys tomorrow night for the East Coast Winter League doubleheader, the Light Series and the Pro Series, coming at you live again at Vidane TV. And you'll never forget the name of Vidane TV. We'll catch you tomorrow night. East Coast Winter League. Don't miss it.